Okay, so I just want to tap in very briefly because today we are doing two very powerful things. Okay, so listen, today we are going to learn how to confidently go live, especially for the first time for my people who are shy about that. But you need to understand the powerful tool that is for building your community and growing your following and also sharing your gifts and figuring out what your niche is. And then we're also going to tap into how you can use ChatGPT to narrow down your niche as a multidisciplinary artist, especially if you've been struggling to figure out where you fit in or how to start. Okay, so let me be clear about this. This niche is not about being locked into something forever. It is actually just a starting point. So it's not your forever identity, but it definitely is going to be the clarity that creates the momentum for where it is that you want to go next in your content creation journey, but especially as an artist in the world and online. So why you need to go live. So one of the reasons you need to go live is because visibility equals opportunity. I'll say that again. Visibility equals opportunity. Going live builds trust faster than any post, any photo, any video, any caption, any link, any song, any listen to my cat, listen to my Spotify, listen to my Apple Music, listen to my title. Okay? It creates a connection in the real time that lets people feel and experience your vibe. It lets people know who you are. And something else that I'm noticing with a lot of content creators is that they will go live with their content, but when they go when no, not when they go live, but when they post, a lot of times their content doesn't accurately reflect who they are and what it is that they do and how they do it. So they get frustrated because they're like, man, I'm a great person, I have all this dynamic energy, but when I'm online, it's just not coming out in the way that I know it can, and so going live gives you an opportunity to practice bringing that authentic self out in a way that just making posts does not, because sometimes people get camera fright and freeze. So you don't need a full script when you go live. A lot of times people think I need to have a full script, I need to have every word written out. No, you just need a framework. So I'm going to talk about this for this amount of time, talk about this, move to that, and then I'm going to finish with this. That's it. It does not have to be super drawn out. It does not have to be difficult. It does not have to be complex even. So going live allows you to test out your niche in real time. It allows you to test out your music. It allows you to test out, what the people want to hear and know from you. Especially if you are somebody who already posts consistently. People love to see you. People love to see who you are. People love to see what it is that you do. So going live gives you an opportunity to test out those things, once again, in a way that making posts does not. So here's one exercise for you. What's the one thing that people always come to you for? You can drop that down in the comments, and I want you to share that. Reflect on that in the comments below. Drop it down. Like, what do people come to you for? What do people like about you? What is the number one thing that people most request of you? So here's one of the reasons. Let's get into the next part. So here's one of the reasons why artists struggle with niches. Section 2, why artists struggle with niches. The most multidisciplinary dilemma. If you are like me, if you are like any of the artists that I work with, you are not just a musician, you are also an actor, you are also a writer. I mean, you are all of it. And that is absolutely beautiful. But here's the truth. If you confuse them, you will lose them. If people cannot predict what it is that you do or predict how you're going to show up, you might lose a certain group of people. Or if you shift too fast, it's like, well, I came here for this, but now you're talking about this. I don't know. I'm lost, confused. I abort. And so if you confuse them, you lose them. So you need one clear entryway that brings people into your world. Okay. So a lot of times the problem is artists fear choosing the wrong niche. A lot of times artists fear, well, if I choose this, then I got to stick with that forever. That's also not true. So here's the solution. Here's how you're going to use ChatGPT as your mirror and your idea partner. Let's get into it. Section 3, using ChatGPT to clarify your niche. Let's chat with AI. Here's a ChatGPT prompt that you can use. I'm a musician, actor, poet, photographer who also teaches, directs, produces, creates content. So you fill in the blank of that. I am a who also, and I want to create a niche that combines my creative talents in a way that helps me go live confidently and build a brand. Can you give me 5 possible niche angles that I can try? So this prompt that we just said here helps you integrate your skills. Okay, you don't just say you rap and act. No, ask ChatGPT. to help you merge your storytelling and your performance into a niche that's powerful and unique. And this is how you stand out. This is how you set yourself above. So if you can find two things that you're really, really good at, one way that you can find out what those two things are is you can make a list of 10 things and then narrow that down to 5 things, and then you can narrow that down to 3 things, and then you can narrow that down to 2 things. And you can take those things, or you can take 3 things and see what ChatGPT comes up, or you can explore three here and 3 there. But whatever the case is, you definitely want to use ChatGPT as the tool that it is. Release the fear. Use it for the tool that it is to get you closer to narrowing down what it is that you can focus on, and that can help you stand apart as your own brand, own niche. What is something that you would drop down in the comments what your 3 niches are, what your 3 subjects are, what your 3 topics are, and let's get a conversation going about that. So number 4, you want to test your niche through going live. Test your niche through going live. So live is your testing lab. So you see how we just pivoted. We started with talking about going live, then we talked about niching and what your talents are, and now we're going back to live. Live is your testing lab. You don't need to figure it all out before you go live. In fact, that's quite backwards. Going live will help you figure out what lands with people, because you can ask, it's real-time testing. You can ask them, does this work? Okay, what do you want to hear more of? Do you like this? You can see what questions come up or arise from the things that people in live are talking about. Your audience will literally tell you what your niche is when they keep coming back for that same energy, that same message, and that same vibe. So maybe your niche could be, I just sit in front of this window, whatever the weather is outside, and I play my bass, I play my drums, whatever it is. Maybe I sit and I talk about my instruments for hours. Maybe I talk about the history of this instrument company, and I allow them to teach. I take people through the history of how they evolved over time with their equipment, with their hardware, with their design, with each model, how the models evolved over time, why this model is better for this style of music versus that style of music. So there are many ways that you can approach this. And you don't need to figure it all out before you go live. Once again, that's backwards. You use live to find what lands with people, and your audience will tell you what the niche is, once again, by when they keep coming back for the same energy, message, and vibe. So the live framework that you need to have a hook. A hook is something that reels people in. It gets people, it kind of scoops, it aggregates the people that you need, okay? So hook is a powerful one-liner or question. You can have that up top. You can have that as your subject. You can have that somewhere in the background. You got to write it on a piece of paper and put it behind you. If you are, fancy with OBS software, and you want to make an overlay, do that. But whatever the case is, you need to have a hook that is dominant inside of whatever it is that you're talking about and doing. And then your content, you want to share a story. You want to share insight, a quick performance, song snippet, monologue, poem, whatever it is that you do, you want to share it, okay? And then you want to take that call to action. Follow me for more, whatever your niche is. Follow me for more, window sitting, bass playing. Join my community. Drop your thoughts in the comments, whatever it is, right? You want to do that call to action, because that's what kind of what makes them stick to you, right? You want to make sure you call them to follow. You want to make sure you call them to comment on something. You want to make sure you call them to, get your ebook, whatever it is. So we're going to get more into call to actions as we progress in the program here at Wealthy Artists Academy, the forward-facing one. But the people in my private program, they are well on their way with this. So section 5, create your niche. Niche building exercise. This is what you can do. You can take this and fill this out for your own personal information. I help specific type of person by using my list of talents to create a result or feeling you want people to get. Okay? So I help specific type of people by using my list of talents, right, to create whatever the specific result or feeling people get, okay? So example, I help women heal through poetry and live performances that awaken self-worth, or I help emerging artists feel seen through raw, unfiltered rap storytelling. And then you can even ask ChatGPT this question and bring it to them. Can you refine this niche so it's clearer and more magnetic? And ChatGPT will do it. You can even give it, it's a machine, it's a computer, it's a system. So if you give it clearer instructions, it will respond and give you the output that you desire. So you can ask it to be more punchy. You can give it textures and feelings. So we'll get more into more ChatGPT strategies, but just understand that it doesn't have to be, point blank and boring, but it also can be starting out. So this is section 6, tools and strategy for going live. Lights, camera, strategy. So you need a checklist. And this is what Wealthy Artists Academy specializes in. We have the ultimate creator toolkit on mastering being digital and online. But for now, we're just going to talk through the bullet points, okay? You want a tripod or a stand. You want good lighting. Facing natural light is enough, okay? Know that natural light does very well. You need a clear background, good sound, earbuds, or an external mic. You want to pick a time of day that works best for you, so that's something that you can be consistent with. And title your live. So like, why I'm choosing my path as an artist, or, that's kind of bringing that hook in. And then you want to go live. Here's some strategy. You want to go live 2 to 3 times a week to build that muscle. And you want to answer the same 3 questions if you can, just to build that rapport, let them know who you are so they can get used to seeing you and so that you can get used to doing it. If you want to keep it simple starting out, ask the same 3 questions every time. What are you working on? I'm working on this project, da-da-da-da. Inevitably, somebody's going to be in the comments, or you're going to be excited talking about it, and you're going to divert and start talking about something else anyway. But if you just give yourself the framework of working with these 3 questions, you will set yourself up for success. So what are you working on? Why does it matter? What's one thing you've learned? Great. So I want to close this with this right here, y'all. You don't have to know everything, you just have to start. If you're waiting to have it all figured out, you're doing it wrong, and you're going to be waiting forever. So the goal isn't perfection, it is just clarity through movement. So use ChatGPT, go live, you adjust, you repeat, and this is one final prompt I want to give you. This is a bonus prompt. Can you give me a 30-day plan to go live consistently using my niche and creative strengths? Can you give me a 30-day plan to go live consistently using my niche and creative strengths? And then you want to have that call to action, okay? You always want to have a call to action. So here we are. Let's give an example of a call to action. I want to inspire you and invite you to stay plugged into Wealthy Artists Academy. Click through our links, look at the resources that we have available that can help you grow online in the digital space. That's where we thrive and where we seek to dominate, specifically helping artists grow and expand their influence and their sound and their voice and their technical talents so that they can present themselves online in the best caliber, in the best possible way. So you can definitely shoot that comment, hit that DM me your niche statement, join our artist accountability group, and follow for more tools to help building your artist brand. And the newsletter is on the way. I'm revamping some things, so I put that in this script here. But by the time you all see this, the newsletter should be up and available. If it is not, there definitely will be a space where you can add your email and be connected to us so that we can get you on that list once that list opens up and is available. But in the meantime, in between time, my name is Jessica, aka Miss Billionaire Success, and it is a joy to see you, and I look forward to seeing what you build together, okay? Take care.